Tudormi Grounding Pillowcase Review. What does the science really say? Beyond the Label Lab channel.
Is it really possible to improve sleep quality just by reconnecting the body to the Earth's energy through a pillowcase? Is there a technology capable of turning your bed into a contact point with nature, or is this a modern myth? The Tudormi Grounding Pillowcase promises exactly this connection.
To understand if this idea works in practice, we are going to audit the facts and see what the studies say about sleeping on silver threads. Anyone who suffers from poorly slept nights knows how exhaustion takes a heavy toll on a daily basis. The search for passive solutions to rest is perfectly understandable, because when the body doesn't shut down on its own, we look for help that doesn't require ingesting anything before lying down.
It is because of this accumulated tiredness that wellness tools draw so much attention. The proposal is that you don't need to do anything other than rest your head on the pillow to try to reap the benefits described by the company. The manufacturer of the Tudormi Grounding Pillowcase explains that the difference lies in the composition of the fabric. The product is made of organic cotton, allowing the skin to breathe, interwoven with a mesh of 5% pure silver threads, which act as small electrical conductors on the surface of the bed.
Imagine these silver threads as an invisible bridge. When connected correctly, they have the function of transferring the electrical charge from the ground to your body, with the intention of mimicking the effect of walking barefoot on the grass, but inside the bedroom. With this organic cotton and silver structure, the first promise in the promotional material is straightforward. They claim that contact with the grounding pillow improves sleep quality naturally, making the user wake up feeling much more rested.
The proposal of this technology is interesting, but we need to separate the theory from the available scientific literature. Data on grounding, or earthing, suggest there might be benefits for rest, but does the evidence validate this for everyone? Science has information on the subject through small observational studies that followed people sleeping connected to conducting wires. Some of these studies indicate that regular practice can support natural relaxation processes and reduce tension.
Think of it as an aid in a serene environment. Just as dimming the bedroom light helps the brain slow down, continuous contact with silver thread seems, in some trials, to favor the physical environment so the body feels safe and relaxes more easily. The idea of sleeping connected to the earth is fascinating, but the evidence shows major reservations when we look deeply at the methodology. The literature on grounding generally evaluates tiny groups and has extreme difficulty separating what is the result of the silver thread from what is just the placebo effect.
This means that most people in these trials knew they were using something new to sleep, which alone can improve rest. Therefore, claiming that the product guarantees an end to insomnia is a leap that science today does not fully support. In addition to the proposal of resting better, the company's material goes further, suggesting that the pillowcase helps to naturally regulate the stress hormone, cortisol.
This is a claim that requires a lot of caution. Imagine looking at a line graph gently sloping down on a monitor, giving the impression that using the fabric reduces tension continuously and mathematically, but we need to check if the data actually supports this stability. The literature indicates that cortisol has natural fluctuations, functioning like the continuous gears of a biological clock throughout the entire day. The hypothesis that touching a silver-laced fabric can control all this internal machinery runs into very fragile evidence and the difficulty of proving cause and effect.
It is hard to establish that a pillowcase will redefine the body's response to fatigue in a universal and predictable way. If you want to verify the information directly from the manufacturer, the official link is in the description, but there is still important information here. The third promise made in the material draws attention for its language, stating that the fabric could neutralize dirty electricity. According to the concept, the idea would be to prevent this energy from interfering with cellular function.
When we hear this, it is common to visualize electrical sparks circling around an insulated cable, as if there were a constant harmful current hovering in the room. But instead of accepting the jargon, we have to look at what researchers demonstrate in practice. The truth is that the concept of preventing the flow of cellular dirty electricity has no recognized basis in traditional research circles. Believing this would be like imagining a solid brick wall blocking an electrical current, even though there is no proof that this current acts in the body in the way it is being described.
No validated study supports this biological explanation about impure energies invading our rest. Without plausibility, the idea that the pillow acts as a shield does not have the backing of assessments looking for concrete evidence. Besides the lack of backing for some promises, there is a purely structural variable. The conductive effectiveness of the silver depends entirely on the user's home. To work as described, there must necessarily be a grounding cable firmly connected to a wall socket with proper electrical wiring.
It is the same principle as connecting a thick hose to a faucet with no water. If the electrical grid does not have true grounding, the material of the pillowcase doesn't matter, the charge transfer does not occur, breaking the entire foundation of the mechanism linking to the soil. When we cross the promise of the technology with what the literature actually shows, we see that the evidence orbits at initial levels of proof. Looking at these older trials is like trying to assemble a wooden puzzle with several central pieces missing. You cannot see the full picture.
The lack of consistent assessments does not mean the product doesn't bring well-being. After all, the feeling of comfort exists. The point is that the evidence does not support the claims of improvement for more complex issues, separating what is relaxation from a proven intervention. Despite the lack of weight in larger trials, the physical basis of the product has value as a wellness item. The simple act of imagining hands pressing and feeling the texture of soft cotton already indicates a quality breathable surface, helping to create a cooler environment to lie down.
The realignment of expectations is to understand this tool not as a treatment, but as an empirical comfort accessory. Sleeping well is usually the result of a calm and welcoming environment, and the silver pillowcase can complement the structure of your bed without needing exaggerated claims. The safest approach for those seeking rest is to try a practical experiment in their own routine. Think of the scene of a closed notebook on a made bed, representing the idea of observing and noting down how the body relaxes in the first few days of continued use.
This removes the pressure of waiting for a deep endocrine change and focuses only on relieving accumulated tension. The simple act of investing in the quality of the bedroom itself is already a valid initiative to support everyday recovery processes. For those who have doubts, the manufacturer offers an interesting risk mitigation described in the support material. The 90-day refund policy lowers the barrier for testing, acting like a desk calendar quickly flipping through 90 pages of peace of mind for you to evaluate the item at home.
This allows you to rest your head on the conductive material and feel if natural rest occurs, with no strings attached. It is an extensive time window that transfers the responsibility of proof to the user themselves, allowing everyone to decide based on their body and not on marketing. Our commitment here is simple: to separate what science actually demonstrates from what still depends on new evidence. Our goal is not to tell you whether you should buy it, but to show what the evidence supports. The decision is yours. So, first, what works? The comfort of a premium fabric with real silver threads.
It is like visualizing 3 organizing boxes being lined up on a table to separate facts from theory. Second, what depends on context, the transfer of charge to the skin, which necessarily requires that your home's outlet has functional grounding for the current to happen. Third, what lacks sufficient evidence, the absolute promises about endocrine regulation and the neutralization of so-called dirty electricity. These claims act like a traffic light flashing a yellow warning color, demanding a lot of caution when interpreted as benefits consolidated by the literature.
And it is worth reinforcing, if you already have a diagnosis related to any of the points we've seen here, talking to a health professional before deciding might be interesting. The literature supporting grounding fabrics does not replace interventions guided for prolonged insomnia. Viewing the item as a step of self-care is the most honest scenario after crossing all the provided data and the observed limitations. It is like watching a wooden door opening into a lit room. The facts are clear, and the step to take from now on belongs solely to your judgment.
If you want to verify the information directly with the manufacturer, the official link is in the description.
If this resonated with you, a like helps it reach more people. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for more stories like this. Know someone who'd enjoy it? Share it their way.